Welcome back, everybody. My name is Rick Strom.
I'm Brett Erlich.
This is Ellen DeGeneres, and we are here to talk about sports. And we're not just talking about it with anyone, we're talking about it with you. And really, I feel like over the course of this show, we've really bonded as people.
I agree.
And souls.
Yes. I would have to
spiritually.
think so. Yes. What's your sign?
Pisces.
What?
Pisces.
How do you spell that?
WKRP Cincinnati. Anyway, so what are we talking about? I forget. This is the highest.
We're talking.
This conversation kind of leads into what we're talking about on this segment, which is the highest athletes in sports.
Right, not rankings.
And my blood is on this list. We'll get to it, and I'll tell you which. Guess which person on the list of Rolling Stone's highest athlete. When we get to it, say, I think this is your cousin.
I didn't put them in order, by the way, but here is what, was it Cheech or Chong? Which one's the smaller one?
Cheech.
Cheech. All right, so Cheech was asked by YouTuber Ellie Seckbach, a good channel on sports and mainly boxing. A lot of good interviews as well. So he interviewed Cheech on what it is about athletes using marijuana. Here was Cheech's answer.
You know, a lot of fighters, MMA fighters, like to smoke because it helps ease the pain. What do you think about that?
Not just MMA fighters, the greatest athlete in the world, Michael Phelps. Yeah. You know, I mean, he won more gold medals than anybody, and was the first thing he did was suck on a big bong, you know. And not just fighters, but entertainers, everybody. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played 8 years past his prime because he only smoked pot. He never drank. He never did any kind of drugs. The only drug he ever did was pot. And it's been proven.
Hey.
By me, Tommy Chong.
Cheech.
That was Tommy Chong, dude.
Oh, I thought, Craig.
That was Chong.
That was Tommy. You said who's the smaller one, and I was like, well, Cheech Marin is the smaller guy.
Yeah.
Tommy Chong is the bigger guy. Or at least to me anyway. Or maybe it's just because Tommy Chong talks like this and Cheech talks faster. And like, I'm sorry, that's Tommy Chong.
Okay, it's
This
Chong.
is the guy who's the voice of, in the movie Zootopia, which is a film for kids, essentially plays like the stoned ass yoga instructor.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I remember she showed up, man, the other day. That was it. Oh, if that's
that 70s show?
He was? That 70s show?
That's Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
All right, so Tommy Chong was talking about the highest, how athletes get high. I just love how he's like, yeah, he's sucking on a big bong.
Here's some people I'd like to throw under the bus right now. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And actually, he made Rolling Stone's list. He was caught carrying 6 grams of marijuana at the Toronto airport. That's never a good idea. But in 1998, all you had to do was pay like a $500 fine. And they're like, all right, we'll see you later. And then the second time, he was arrested on a Dewey charge in 2000. Obviously, nothing ever really occurred for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has said, by the way, that he suffers from terrible migraines, which could be true.
I think a lot of these athletes, they have some general pain that they suffer from during and after their career.
Well,
and so I think that's why folks.
NBA, NFL,
Baseball.
UFC, NFL are who is on our list.
Okay, gotcha.
So yes, I would have to agree.
I think that's totally fine. Let's go through the list.
All right, let's go through it. So Browns receiver Josh Gordon also made the list. He estimates he was bringing in $10,000 a month in weed sales while in college, he told SI. Gordon had previously told GQ in a recent article they smoked marijuana and drank alcohol before probably every game in college, Baylor, and then the National Football League.
That wasn't the worst thing going on at Baylor, by the way. That's how you get away with that.
No, absolutely not. Hey, Art Briles. Nate Diaz went so far to call himself the #1 athletic stoner besides Michael Phelps. There it is again.
There you go.
Yeah. Has no qualms lighting up his vape in front of the spotlight of TV cameras. Meanwhile, brother Nick has become the ultimate marijuana martyr after years of bong-inspired braggadocio. The guy even once told the LA Times, quote, I can pass a drug test in 8 days with herbal cleansers. I drink 10 pounds of water and sweat out 10 pounds of water every day.
That's the thing, is this argument, the argument against smoking weed would be not one of performance enhancement.
Right.
Unless I could see like basketball shooting. If it slows the game down for you, if it gives you more feel, if it relaxes you in the moment to focus. But they always say
guys are taking Adderall to relax as well and be focused.
To focus. It's not, for Michael Phelps, it's obviously not slowing him down. Those things are if you smoke weed, you'd be afraid that someone wouldn't become an Olympic athlete. These guys prove it wrong. I think it's a messaging thing that's out there.
I just don't think there's any negative effect to it. All right, really quick, we have two more. One more, excuse me. Ricky Williams turned to the sticky icky, as Rolling Stones writes.
That's a sticky, yeah.
Yeah. After getting diagnosed with clinical depression and social anxiety disorder, Williams was in and out of the league, failing not 1, not 2, but 3 drug tests, all in 2 years' time and bouncing between the Saints, Dolphins, Ravens, and the CFL's Toronto Argonauts. And then there's also Damon Stoudamire, who, when they were driving from Seattle to Portland after a game, he got pulled over with Rasheed Wallace. There was marijuana residue found on the floor of the yellow Hummer. And then also tried to bring 1.5 ounces of marijuana onto a plane. It was wrapped in aluminum foil, trying to pass through security. Even Craig is laughing.
That's so much weed to just
a lot of
in
weed.
a foil. It's like, sir, we can all smell that.
But
you're just wrapping it in foil. What they're like,
why
oh,
would
it's
you
my
wrap it in-
sandwich.
Yeah.
Size that sandwich I'm bringing.
Why would you wrap it in foil? Aren't there other?
I don't know. My cousin was on the list, Bill Lee, Boston Red Sox.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He would put weed on his pancakes, and they would throw, when he played in Canada, or he played after his MLB career, they would just throw weed at him on the field. Name's the Spaceman Lee.
Why? That's a waste of weed.
He would get it. He would take it. He said, thank you. And then if you read his book, Have Glove Will Travel, he talks about trying to buy weed in Venezuela after he finished the pros and just going to like these drug dealers places where they'd put like a giant bag of it. Like that's all we sell is in bags, and trying to scare. And he would do peyote, and it was back in the day of like the 70s MLB where people were just really, really stoned.
Peyote is a real hardcore Phil Jackson drug, you know? Yeah. It's what he would do when he was with, when he was in Minnesota. No, Montana. That's where he's from. I got that right in trivia once.
He did. First round.
The only one.